Hello everybody and welcome back to Double Play. In this video we are going to be recapping the Rockies offseason and most importantly previewing their 2023 season. They didn't do much this offseason, so this could be kind of a quick little recap and preview for the Rockies this upcoming season. But Jack, you want to start us off with some of the things that the Rockies did this offseason?
Wait, they did stuff this offseason? I mean, really, they only made two additions to their entire squad, Jose Urena and Pierce Johnson, which I know Rockies fans, I apologize. It's not the offseason that you want to see. And then they only had a couple notable subtractions, Alex Colomé, Garrett Hampson, Carlos Estevez. I mean, Ryan, I know there's not many to choose from, but if you had to pick a biggest addition or subtraction, what would you go with?
Yeah, I was going to go Garrett Hampson. I kind of thought, then I looked at his numbers. Garrett Hampson was not good. He was just kind of a speedster. But I ended up going Jose Urena. I mean, like I said, they didn't really add or lose much. I mean, he'll be their third starter. He's shown to have some solid starts in his time with the Rockies last season, but, I mean, overall his numbers weren't great. So, I mean, maybe he could be solid for you behind a couple of your top guys in the rotation, but there wasn't really another direction to go with this.
I'm not even going to give him. I'm not going to talk about an addition, a subtraction, because I don't. This front office doesn't deserve my thoughts on their offseason. You cannot do nothing. I hate it when teams like this, who have shown in the past they will spend money or they won't trade a player, you cannot go into an offseason and only add Jose Urena and Pierce Johnson. I don't care. You have the money. These owners in baseball, as we talked about every offseason with teams like the A's, the Pirates, the Reds, now the Rockies, you have the money. So either give up the team or spend your damn money. No offense to the Rockies front office, but do something. You're a baseball team. You get to own an MLB team. You're one of only 30 people in the world that gets to do that. So actually make use of it instead of caring about your bottom line. Go out and try and win some baseball games. I'm just going to go right into my grade. I gave him a D-. I wasn't all the way into an F because we've seen some F off seasons. This wasn't exactly there because they did sign someone. But for a team that decided to pay Kris Bryant a bunch of money last season and refused to trade Trevor Story a couple of years ago, you'd have expected, and I would have expected, the Rockies to be more active this offseason. The front office just makes no sense. It's not bad enough to get an F in my book, but I'm pissed with what the Rockies did this offseason. And it also just makes no sense because why are you going to sign Kris Bryant last year if you're not going to try and get other talent around him this year?
Yeah, I went with a D. I mean, you mentioned Kris Bryant, Trevor Story. The one thing they also did that was head-scratching is they extended Daniel Bard, who was like one of the hot ticket trade deadline relievers that could have been traded. Was this last year or was this 2 years ago?
It was last year. He was an all-star last year.
Yeah, and
I believe was leading the league in saves for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I mean that you could have got a couple prospects for, and then you decide not to trade him and extend him. So that was just another offseason this is just another offseason where I don't know what's going on. And do you see? I don't remember if it was their owner or their GM, but like at their fan fest or something, he said, "I think we can be 81 and 81 this year." I mean, like, sure, what he said's like, okay, we won't agree with it, but also from your owner or your GM, I can't remember who said it. That's not what you want to hear if you're a Rockies fan. The Rockies fans you probably know you're going to be bad this season, so you want to hear something that's looking like, okay, well, let's do these things to get better for the future rather than we could maybe be okay this season. So I ended up going with a D, and it just you can't grade nothing, I guess. So I mean, yeah, I went D.
Yeah, I mean, we would have clowned him if he would have said, I think we can make a run at the playoffs this year. But it's still like, you don't go out there and name the most average number you can and say, oh boy, we could get there. It's like, that's just, I don't understand the way this Rockies front office works. I don't understand why they would be active last offseason and give Kris Bryant a ton of money and then do nothing this offseason, or why they won't trade Trevor Story or Daniel Bard. It makes no sense. It seems kind of greedy for their pocketbooks. I'm not a big fan. Also, Daniel Bard, why are you signing an extension in Colorado? You're one of the best closers in baseball last year, and you want to stay in Coors Field. It doesn't quite make sense to me. Overall, I mean, the Rockies are just one of the weirdest teams, and I don't think I'm hiding it very well. But what I'm expecting from this team in 2023 is for them to be potentially the worst team in baseball. I'm not going to sugarcoat that in any way. I'm sorry, Rockies fans, but I think that you guys are going to be very, 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 very bad in 2023.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very, very bad team who gets beat up, especially in the NL West. They do benefit. They don't have to play the NL West as often as they would have in the future with the new schedule. But yeah, I'm predicting over 100 losses. I don't even know, like, maybe I can predict a Chris Bryant bounce back season. But outside of that, there's not much else to predict with this team. I think they're going to be a team that obviously lasts in the division and over 100 losses.
Yeah, that's my bold prediction, that I think they're going to lose 100 games. And I don't think it probably doesn't sound very bold, but they've never lost 100 games in their entire history. So this would be the first time the Rockies have ever lost 100 games. And last offseason when they signed Chris Bryant, if I told you, but next year they're going to lose 100 games, I think Rockies fans would be pretty disappointed because they thought that signing Bryant was a step in the right direction. They didn't come in last. I don't believe in 2021 the Diamondbacks came in last place. The Rockies signed Chris Bryant. Looked like they were potentially trying to move forward. I think this season they lose 100 games for the first time ever, which is disappointing for Rockies fans. Like, again, I'm sorry. I don't enjoy talking badly about your team. As a Giants fan, I'd prefer it to be the Rockies than the Giants, but I don't like to see any team in baseball or any fans in baseball be subjected to losing because the team is just not trying to win.
Yeah, it's a frustrating position to be in, one that we're kind of grateful that our teams are not in this situation. The Rockies are just not in a great position overall. Don't really have a great farm system either. So, sorry, Rockies fans. The future, so for some of these teams that are bad, we could say at least the future's bright. But sorry, Rockies fans.
Yeah, well, we're doing a series where we're previewing each team's 2023 season and recapping their 2022 offseason. If this is the first one you're watching, I promise they're not all like this. We do get excited about certain teams and certain players because not all teams are the Rockies. So make sure you guys are going down below to subscribe, hit the notification bell, because this week's all NL West. But going up to opening day, we're doing every team in Major League Baseball. So if we haven't done your favorite team yet, make sure you're subscribed and ready for that one to come out with the notifications turned on. If we have, you can go down to a playlist down below to check it out. Leave a comment if you're a Rockies fan for maybe a silver lining that we missed or something you're looking forward to, or I guess potentially any team that you're thinking about transferring over to. I think Giants fans are accepting applications. Dodgers fans are accepting applications. Some refugees from Rockies fans.
Yeah, sure. Dodgers have a lot of bandwagon fans, so.
That is true. Well, anyways, that's all we've got for you guys today. There are going to be more fun than this in the future. We can promise you that. So again, sorry, Rockies fans, but had to be a little negative in this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you for our next video.